Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Tourist. And this movie came out in 2010, starring Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp. And I've seen bits of this movie before, and possibly the whole thing. I don't remember. I just remember parts of it, and now I know why I don't remember much about it because I didn't enjoy this movie very much this time around, and there's nothing about it that really made it stand out to movies that were, I guess, like this or have some elements that are in this movie that were done better in other movies. Like, as a thriller, it doesn't really work for me because the plot is very much in your face and there's very little mystery going on in the movie. And I would have preferred if the plot was a bit more ambiguous throughout the majority of it, because at least with that, even if I would probably find that very annoying because what would be revealed would be really stupid, at the very least, for at least the first two acts, you would have something. You would have something to keep me engaged instead of nothing, because everything's just in your face and it's kind of repetitive, and it's just Johnny Depp is on the run because people think that he's a guy who stole money from this crime boss. And yeah, it's one of those types of stories, and nothing is really added to it. The action scenes, when we do get action scenes, are not impressively done. They're very stationary. There's nothing exciting going on visually in terms of the cinematography or how it's shot or like framed. There's a scene where Johnny Depp is like running on the side of the building, and it's all shot from the exact same angle, and it all feels very stale to me, and I just can't get into it on just based on that alone. And the comedy, although very minimal, which I am grateful for, because whenever we do get comedic moments, which is about six in the entire film, not scenes, but just tiny moments, they fall completely flat for me, and I just hated those parts of the movie. The only good thing about this movie for me was Angelina Jolie. She had good screen presence, and she looked like she cared, and that's the only compliment I have for the film. And Johnny Depp, he was just phoning in his performance. I never believed he was the character that he was playing. I don't even remember the character's name, but he's very forgettable, very boring to watch, and I never once believed that he was playing a character. He was just being himself and just waiting for a paycheck, and that's the impression I got the entire time. I also kind of like, in concept, not as an actual compliment to the film, like just something that I find to be kind of funny, is that the entire plot of the movie just happens because of Angelina Jolie. Like, this whole thing is basically her fault. And she just keeps screwing everything up for everyone, and yeah, I don't understand her character very well. And there are some elements to the movie that just don't need to be there at all. Like, there's one character who's working with this agency who's actually working for the crime boss, like one of those types of characters, and nothing comes of that. We see this character, like, I think a couple times, maybe. Maybe we see him more than once. Maybe that was a different character. I have no idea. But point being, nothing comes of that, and it was just pointless. It was kind of like The Departed, like Matt Damon's character in The Departed, only with like a much less interesting character, and that character never gets investigated, never even gets acknowledged really, and yeah, just a pointless character that doesn't need to be there. I also didn't really like that we were shown who the villain was of the movie within the first like 20 minutes of the film, because it just robbed any mystery that the movie could have had. Because if you hadn't seen him, you would think, oh, these are just some crazy people going after Johnny Depp, or like you wouldn't know what's going on, but instead it just shows its hand and reveals everything to you except for a couple things. And that was upsetting and just made the movie really boring to me. And wow, was this movie really boring, because most of the time I was just taking notes and I was missing, like, I don't know, at least one fourth of what was going on in the plot or like what characters were saying. And I don't feel as though I missed anything because most of the dialogue was purposeless and boring. And you could basically sum up what happens within every scene with just like a sentence or two. But instead, they decide to stretch everything out for no reason. I haven't even mentioned the music for this movie. I hated it. It was always implying what you should be feeling, but never earning any of the emotions that it was going for. And I hate the music, both how it's used in the movie and independently from the movie. I just think that it's a bad score altogether, and it just pulled me out of the movie every time it was used. Whenever we got scenes where there was no music, it was fine. Like, the scene, well, not great. It at least wasn't being dragged down with bad music. Like, we have a not very good scene, but at least there's no music. Like, if it had music, it would be a really irritating scene or a really bad scene, and instead, with no music, we have a less than good scene. So, not a very good movie, in my opinion. Very boring, very stupid, lots of cringe. Angelina Jolie was the best part. She has good screen presence, and she looked like she cared, and at points I was interested where the plot was going, just following her perspective, and that was the most interesting part of the movie for me, and that's about all I have to say about it. It's very bad. And with all that being said, I'm going to give The Tourist a 2 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of The Tourist, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Risky Business. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.